So, chapter 0 is actually an introductory chapter for the textbook. It's not actually a part of section 1, but I will test you on this chapter along with section 1 because it's the introductory, kind of the overview of the whole book, Master Learning, Master Life. So, chapter 0 is called The Perfect Storm. Here are some learning objectives and things you should learn as we go throughout the chapter. One of the first things I want to discuss is the idea of a practical credentialist. So, many years ago, the Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner, who we'll talk about later with multiple intelligences as well, and also the professor Katie Davis, they wrote a book called The App Generation. They said this generation's high school and college students are so inundated with apps in their life. And they came up with this term called practical credentialist. Practical credentialist. This is the idea that the youth of today, high school and college students today, only want to know and do what they need to know and do in order to graduate, complete their education, to earn a degree, and to secure a job. They don't want to do anything beyond or anything extra in order to be successful. It's the idea of, I just want to have this credential to say that I have this credential so that I can reach the level of success I want to be at. They may not want to read a textbook or study for an exam. They really might even just be satisfied with having a 70, because if a 70 is going to get me through the class, why do I need to make an A? That's what a practical credentialist is. Somebody who only wants to do the bare minimum, what they need to do in order to earn a degree, to get their education, or to secure a job. They don't want to do anything extra. Next, let's talk about this idea of Socratic dialogue. This is when we engage in thought provoking questions with ourselves to help us really drill down to what's important to us. So, just like Socratic thinking or Socratic discussion, Socratic dialogue has to do with a person thinking internally and reflecting on whatever it is they are questioning. There are 4 questions involved in Socratic dialogue. The first question is, what do I most want to do with my life? The second question is, why do I want to do that? The third question is, how will I accomplish it? And the fourth question is, what is my expected outcome once I accomplish that thing? So if you think back to elementary school, you were taught the 5 W's and H, right? Who, what, when, where, how, and why. That is because those questions are some real good thinking questions to help you reflect on your life. So what do I most want to do with my life? Why do I want to do that? How will I accomplish it? And what is my expected outcome once that is accomplished? Being in a program like this, it's going to be very important that you not only be able to engage in Socratic dialogue, but you also have people around you who can support what it is you're going through. A mentor is a great person to keep around you. That's going to be somebody you respect, someone you trust, whose opinions you value, who can help you steer in the right direction or give you advice about whatever it is you're going through. And hopefully, all of you have a mentor or somebody you can look up to. It could be a teacher or a professor. It could be your best friend or your sibling or your grandparents. It could be anybody who gives you advice. Their job is to encourage you to do your best. For myself, my grandmother was always my mentor. And I will tell you, there were times when we didn't really agree, with some of the things we discussed, but it was good to have a sounding board, somebody to talk to. And just, I knew she had my best interest at heart. So I knew if she wasn't going with what I was saying, it was for my best interest. And the last thing I want to talk about in chapter 0 are 10 tips to help you be successful in college. Okay. Now, you are in an early college high school program, so some of these won't directly apply to you right now, but many of them will apply to you when you move on to a university. So these are 10 things to help you be successful. So we want you to stay in college and not drop out after a semester or two. Number one, you always want to go to the campus before your classes start so that you get an idea of where your classes are going to be. One of the worst things that you can do is show up late to a class on your first day. You know, if you've ever had that happen before, you don't feel good, right? You probably feel like everybody's looking at you. You just don't start out on the right foot. So, one good way to make sure that you know where you're going is to locate the atmosphere before. For those of you who participated in College Bridge, I know depending on when you entered the program, some of you may have had that virtually and some of you may have had it in person. But the reason we have College Bridge as a part of this ECHS program is so that you can be oriented to the school and so you can know where to go. Number 2, you also want to become familiar with important places on campus. Like, where's the main office? Where's the library? Where's the nurse's office? Where's the cafeteria, right? Because when you need those resources, you need to be able to find them. That's why during College Bridge, we do a scavenger hunt so that you can become familiar with the building. Number 3, you want to make sure that you read through your course syllabus. Read through your course syllabus, every syllabus for every course you have, so that you know when your due dates are. The worst thing you can do is ask your professor a bunch of questions about when is this due, or can I turn in late work, especially when it's already spelled out for you. Your college professors work very hard to make sure that they have everything for the whole semester done ahead of time, so they don't want to have to just keep reminding you of things that you can really be self-directed with. Number 4, attend every class session on time. So you want to make sure that you're there, you're ready, you are started, right? So you want to show up and just act interested, even if you aren't, right? Just show up prepared and on time. Number 5, you want to remind yourself that college and high school are very different. You have chosen to be in college. And right now, you're taking this class as an early college high school student, and you chose to be here. Everybody else in the school is not taking this course because it's only for students who are getting their associate's degree while in high school. Number 6, you want to pay very close attention to the section 1, the one that we'll talk about first this week, of the textbook, because they're going to have these chapters will have some valuable information about how to be successful in college. Number 7, you never want to be afraid to ask questions. That is how you learn. If you don't ask a question, you're not going to know the answer. Just don't ask a question that's in the syllabus. Like, ask a question that you really can't figure out on your own. And if you can't ask the question during class, feel free to send your professor an email. Number 8, you also want to ask for help if you need it, right? So whether that's tutoring help, you don't understand a concept, there are a lot of resources to help you get help so that you don't have to drown or suffer. Number 9, you want to pay close attention to the chapters in the book that will help you be a better note taker, help you prepare for tests, help you take exams, because taking notes, taking tests, or exams and preparing for them are going to be the 3 critical components of college success. Most of your college classes, like this one, is primarily going to have notes, studying, and tests. And then number 10, you want to make sure that you take time so that you don't get overwhelmed, and you make a plan. Like, use a planner. When you get that syllabus on the very first day, make sure that you write down the things you need to write down so that you are finished and you can plan out, how am I going to do this? If you're taking this class as a part of a summer expectation, then you want to make sure that you are doing work every single day, that you're taking notes, that you're studying that information every day, because you'll only have like 5 weeks to complete each class. So I hope you understand everything in chapter 0.